Hello, everyone, and welcome to another special episode of 1973 podcast. On this 4th of July weekend, I'm joined by former Flyer, our Flyers, Taylor
Yeah,
Leier, and we're gonna have some fun. I'm running shorthanded. I'm killing penalties alone. It's tough. I usually get an eclectic group, as you know, to chirp with the boys, but I'm
yeah,
super excited. I got a lot to ask, and just want to say thanks, Taylor, for coming on, and we're gonna have some fun telling stories and tell us how you got from point A to point B.
absolutely, man. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here, and yeah, let's get rolling.
So, how did the love of hockey start when you were a kid? I always ask that just kind of as a
Yeah,
baseline.
that's pretty loaded question. With the background growing up in Canada in Saskatchewan, it's my brother and I and my two parents. I grew up in Saskatoon, so right in the middle of Saskatchewan, and yeah, we had a backyard rink growing up. My dad got me skates for my second birthday, so. Big part of the culture there, and we grew up on the rink. Honestly, in the summertime, it's in the driveway, ripping it on on in just shoes or rollerblades or whatever, playing mini sticks. Like, oh man, me and my buddies growing up, we used to play everything, all versions of hockey. So yeah, it was very organic and very natural in the community there.
Did you have any like as a kid uh, big influences growing up, like players that you loved,
Uh,
or
yeah, it was honestly just like. It was just my dad, and he was my idol growing up. Just because I knew he played football too. So he did 5 years of hockey and football at the same time at the U of S, University of Saskatchewan, which is pretty legendary. So yeah, he was an animal, awesome guy. So just like knowing that he played, I think I just naturally wanted to play, and then I ended up loving it, and then I guess the rest is history. So.
do you think that there was a point that you could look back on where you thought you had a shot at making the NHL? Because I know
Uh,
it's tough. It's kind of like I some of the guys say that they were destined when they were kids, and other guys were
uh,
like they were late bloomers. I didn't start skating until like I was 14, and yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple different like points, I guess. One probably like I would say my Bantam draft year in when I was 14, you get in the WHL, you get drafted in your second year of Bantam, and I got drafted pretty high to Portland and scored a lot that year. So that's what was like, oh, okay, like here we go. There's a little bit of momentum, but I have a really good story actually about that and something that kind of honestly like really pushed me to the next level was so I was drafted 24th overall to the Portland Winterhawks in the WHL, and right after the draft we went to a spring camp in Calgary, Alberta, and it was like a prospect camp, draft picks, and then other players that they invited to the camp too. And I went with my parents, whatever, it was a couple days long. And at the end of the camp, we had little mini exit meetings with the coach, Mike Johnston, and Travis Green and Kyle Gustafson too. And we were in the meeting room after, and it was me, my mom, and my dad, and they're recapping my play and like what they thought of me. It was their first like official time seeing me at like their camp and not just like scouting me with my club team from the winter. And like long story short, they basically said like you have a lot of room to grow, and like we think like you're too soft. And I remember being like so embarrassed hearing those words coming out of their mouth, like in front of my parents, just because I felt like, in a sense, like I let my parents down a little bit. Like, when someone calls you like soft or like they think you have more. So that lit a fire in me. And, I just didn't want to be known as being complacent or lazy. And I made like a little pact with myself and my trainer at home. And from there on, we went hard in the gym, and I kind of took the mindset on of like, I'd rather do a little bit more and know at the end of the day, like I did the best that I could and really pushed my limits and didn't really leave anything short. So from that moment on, honestly, I just started chipping away. And then I made Portland when I was 17, which is my NHL draft year. And I remember at Christmas time, I was on this NHL Central Scouting, and it like kind of, blew me away a little bit because I was just focused on making the team. And then you see that, and then the springtime ended up getting drafted, and then I don't know. It's just called a little bit of a sequence of events, just getting momentum and building really good daily habits and just stacking them over and over again.
Now, we always ask. We've heard some really good draft day stories. What would do you have like an
Oh,
epic draft day story? Like,
yeah. I mean, a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah. So at Christmas time, they did maybe it was January. They did the half year whatever central scouting projections, and I remember being 117, and then at the end of the year they do a final one, and I was like, I think I was 130 something. And me and my agent, his name is Tim Hodgson, awesome guy. And he was we were basically like if we're not projected in the top two rounds, like we're not going to go to the draft. And so I didn't go to the draft. But in the meantime, I was playing ball hockey with my buddies in Saskatoon, just like club. And chances, and this was by chance. Ball hockey nationals for Ball Hockey Canada was in Saskatoon that year. They were hosting. And so someone was watching like a club ball hockey game, and it was someone involved with Team Sask. So they asked me to play for Team Sask in like July or June, excuse me, right before the draft. And so I played in nationals for Team Sask. And then during nationals, Team Canada asked me to play for Team Canada ball hockey. And it ended up being during the draft in Czech Republic. So I went to Czech Republic and played for Team Canada ball hockey, and we just beat Slovakia in the gold medal game, 1-0, and we got in the dressing room after, and my phone was like blowing up, and I just got drafted by Philly, and my dad was there with me in Czech, and like I told you before the show, he was a diehard Flyers fan, loved Bobby Clark. So me and him had a pretty cool moment. He cried a little bit, and I guess.
So, before we get going any further, Taylor, this is my co-host for the evening, Ryan Vanderbush. Everybody coming in late, coming in off the bench. Ryan, Taylor, we're you can hop
What's
in
going
whenever
on,
you
Hey,
want.
Ryan?
But
Taylor.
uh,
Nice to meet you,
How's it
buddy.
going? Yeah, nice to
Good,
meet you
good.
too.
friend of the show, Ryan Vanderbush. Everybody coming in late. We had some Wi-Fi problems up there in Canada, so we'll
I was
blame
just gonna ask. I see the flags. Are you in Canada right now?
Yeah, yeah, on southwestern Ontario, on the North Shore Lake Erie. So we just celebrated Canada Day the other day.
Nice.
So
Let's go.
yeah,
I was FaceTime my parents yesterday. They're at the lake too, so
nice,
yeah.
nice.
So, just a quick story. Ryan had to come in hot because I was telling Taylor that there was a possibility of a bad Wi-Fi issue. Ran ran to get some good Wi-Fi at a neighbor's house. So it's a family affair on this 1973 podcast, everybody. So
Yeah, all
Yeah,
good.
yeah. My closest neighbor is a kilometer away, so I had to zip down here. It's
No
almost
way.
24 hours, no internet service. So it's kind of frustrating when you work at home.
Yeah. You made it work.
yeah, we're having fun. So thanks for showing up, Ryan. I appreciate it. I needed a co-host. I'm officially the only guy on the show that hasn't played pro hockey, so we'll work around that. So, uh,
Yeah.
so the emotions that your dad had and you were was that like a overwhelming moment like that you guys had together on draft day?
Yeah, it was just special. Like I said, with with the decision not to go to the draft by me and my family and my agent, and just go play for Team Canada ball hockey is just like looking back, it's pretty unique, and
Yeah.
it was fun for me and my dad, and then my mom and my brother, they were at home watching on the computer. Day two of the draft, they go through rounds 2 to 7, so. Yeah, it was fun to celebrate when I got home with family and friends. I remember my parents had a little backyard party after, and yeah, it was great.
Did you have a welcome to the NHL moment?
Oh yeah. Yeah, actually I do. Yeah, for sure. So I got called up in October of 2015 the first time. I turned pro when I was 20, played in the American League my first full year, and then my second year started in the American League again, and then we were playing Friday night at home in Lehigh Valley against Rochester, I remember, and you could always tell when the brass was there because maybe you'd see them before the game, or I don't know, guys would talk. So the brass was there that night, and we finished the game. I scored that game. Didn't think like anything of it at all. And then one of the team management guys, came up to me, our team service guys, and was like, Hexy wants to see you, like Ron Hextall. And then he was like, Ghost, you too, Shane Gostisbehere. And we were just like, I didn't think anything of it. We actually thought we were in trouble. And Hexy pulled us into the hallway and he was just like, yeah, like you're coming up after the game tonight. And we were just like, what? And he's like, you're going to play tomorrow night in Carolina. So Ghost and I, we both got called up for the first time together, which was really cool. So we slept that night and then flew out the next morning to Carolina, and that was my first game. But my first like welcome to the NHL moment was my second game in Philly, and we were playing LA, and I was in the fourth line with Sam Gagner and Edward Belmar, and so we were lined up against LA's fourth line, and LA's fourth line was Milan Lucic, Kyle Clifford, and Jordan Nolan. And like I'm like 5'11", 174, and I remember lining up against these guys and I'm like, all right, yeah, this is the NHL right here. Those are big boys. So they were all at least, like 210, 220. Lucic, I don't even know what he is, maybe a little bit heavier than that. But yeah, my second game against LA, I was like, yeah, this is the NHL.
So Ryan, I'll give you the floor for a minute for a question for Taylor.
Yeah, no, I saw that you're coached by my buddy Riley Cote back in the day. Can you got any good stories about him?
Yeah, Riles was awesome. He was a player's coach for sure. Like someone you could go talk to, be like, "Hey, Riles, like, can we watch video? Like, tell me what I'm doing here." So he was a good soundboard for the guys. He was like not that far removed from playing pro, so he was like a little bit of an in between from like the head coach and then the players. For him being the assistant, so he was always very approachable from the player side of things and relatable. And he was great to have around for sure.
That's nice, especially when you have a coach. I don't know what your coach was like there, but I've had coaches where you're walking by them in the hallways and they don't even look at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't. So sometimes
Yeah.
it can be a little intimidating.
Yeah,
I
our
should
head
have an
coach, our
assistant
head
coach
coach
that,
at that time was Scott Gordon. He was great too, but
yeah.
just sometimes just having that middleman was just nice to just, take a little bit of a deep breath and just like break down your game. There wasn't as much like individual video review as there is now back then.
Mhm.
So, you could go, he would have clips, up from the games and then be like, hey, Rouse, can you show me some power play clips? Like, let's go through like some down low plays or half wall or whatever, right? So it was nice to have him around and have a guy like that.
What changed the most from your beginning of your career to the end of your career with regards to just the game of hockey on the ice? Like, how much faster do you think it got from the time
Uh, yeah,
you
it
started?
definitely it definitely got a little bit faster. The difference in players and rosters was a little bit more noticeable. My first year in Lehigh Valley in the American League, we had like four like heavyweights, like tough guys. We had Derek Mathers, Stephen Delisle, Jay Rosehill, Zach Stortini, all these different guys in my first 2 years pro, like in the lineup as regulars. Whereas near the end, if you look at American League rosters now, there's maybe like one tough guy, maybe, and it's sprinkled more out with um, maybe smaller, faster prospects, or just like it's like a little bit of a quicker roster now, I would say. Even in the NHL, you look at some fourth lines and they have some smaller players that are great two-way and can play both sides of the ice, but there's a little bit less, bigger heavyweights as there maybe once used to be.
Yeah.
Do you
No.
agree with that? Looking
Yeah,
at
I
rosters?
agree. And like I mean, my era was a little different. I retired in '07, so
Yeah.
Crosby's rookie year was my last year in the league.
Uh-huh.
So that would have been '05, '06 season. But I finished off in Albuquerque, New Mexico in the CHL. And I remember my aha moment when I knew I had to retire or get damn close to retiring was
Yeah.
I was probably 32. So as with Crosby, we're practicing. You know how sometimes some coaches will be like, you do a drill, then they'll say, okay, 2 hard laps around the ice, and you go around the
Yeah.
4 knots.
Yeah.
Well, in my head, there's like nobody's gonna pass me, you know what I mean? Like I was just go hard, but just make
Yeah.
sure to pass you. Well, Crosby just passed me like I was standing still. And I thought, what the hell? I said, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna let that happen again. And it just
Yeah.
kept happening.
Yeah.
His pregame
Yeah.
warm-up was tougher than my post-game game. Or
Yeah.
post game
Tough guy to
warm-up.
compare yourself to though. Jeez.
No, no,
Sid.
I know. He was just insane. As a
Yeah.
18-year-old rookie dominating men. It was unbelievable. I never seen anything like it.
Yeah, I mean that's what everyone says who saw him around that age. You even seen I've seen some of those videos of him where I think LA invited him to like their camp when he was like 16 or
Yeah, yeah,
17.
yeah, yeah,
Have you seen those
yeah.
videos?
I have. I
No.
have.
Oh, and he doesn't look out of place like whatsoever. He looks
No.
totally dominant.
Oh, was he
Yeah.
14 years old at the time when he was going down there with these
Maybe
16-year-olds?
maybe it was 14. I thought
He was
I mean
young.
it's somewhere it
I
was
think the pro
somewhere yeah, it was like in the mid-teens, I think, somewhere.
Yeah, I think the prospects, I thought I saw Gretzky being interviewed that the prospects were like 16, 17, but they brought this prodigy that said 14 years
Yeah.
of age. And then he was like, who is that kid out there? That's when he found out it was Crosby. He was like, he's the best player in it. And that's who it turned out to
Yeah.
be. But
That's
yeah,
a
crazy.
The
great
high
segue
end. Yeah, go
for the
ahead.
next question that I had. A great segue from Ryan. That when you were playing, who was the most impressive player that like when you were on the ice,
Uh,
you were like couldn't believe that like phenomenal.
yeah. I mean, there's so many. You could list off, you see all the big guys, play. Um, like obviously Sid, Ovi. One guy that stuck out to me was Carlson on Ottawa when he had that year when he had over a point a game or whatever. I remember him being just like he was floating out there and it seemed like he could have played 30 minutes like every single night. Another one was Yager when he was on New Jersey. I couldn't believe how big he was. He was a big boy. It was crazy. Um, Playing as Lundqvist when he was in MSG, that was pretty cool. Um, yeah, like even like one game we went into Tampa too, and I was in the fourth line, so Tampa got their line matches, and they got for our second change, so we would go out there. And I remember Tampa would match. It was Stamkos, Kucherov, and Palat against us, and that was like, you see Kucherov play, the guy's insane, and then you got Stamkos set up in a spot in the ozone or on the power play, and that's like lethal. So I mean, so many guys that you can like. What that came to mind right away, and another one too was Barzell, the year he won the Calder. I was up the whole year that year in Philly, and we played the Islanders quite a few times. And I remember watching him being like, "Holy moly, this kid is unbelievable." He was so good. Yeah.
Taylor, another nice segue from coming up. Like, how was it developing in the Flyers organization? You know, was it a good experience? Was it something that you uh, were disappointed with, or did you find them top notch? Or
No, they were great. They treat everyone extremely well. They kind of they give you every resource to give yourself like the best opportunities to succeed, their prospects. And one thing I appreciated about them is just like if you truly like give it your all and don't dip your toe in, they were awesome about that. And they rewarded me with a couple call ups, just in my opinion, just through working for them. And yeah, I really enjoyed my time there. Even in Lehigh too, they treat their minor league guys really well. They have great facilities. So, they're a top-notch organization in my opinion, and I'll be forever grateful for the opportunities that they provided me. And yeah, I'm really appreciative of them.
Ryan, you have another question?
I see that you just retired not that long ago. I'm curious, what are you up to
Yeah.
these days?
Yeah, I retired last June. I had a second shoulder surgery on my right one. So that this doctor was told me it's probably my best interest to stop playing. So that was last June, and then over the summer, I was thinking about it a little bit, a lot actually, and I started a hockey development company last November. So like we talked about at the beginning of the show, I grew up in Canada, but my wife, I met her while I was in Philly, and she's from the South Shore of Boston. So we live full time now in the South Shore here, just south of Boston, and yeah, so I run my hockey development camp or company here, and we run. on ice programs, sessions, and camps throughout the year. And then off the ice, we do private coaching and like video review with players.
Nice.
So yeah,
Taylor, I'm
yeah,
gonna
been going.
tag the episode with all the stuff that you want me to sponsor for you, and when we'll get it,
Yeah,
circle it and around for you.
appreciate that a lot. Yeah, we've been going hard every day for about 7 months or and change now. And honestly, I love it. When I was contemplating what I wanted to do when I was finished, what kind of pushed me in this direction was when thinking about what I wanted to do in the second half or my new career. I was like, I've gathered so much knowledge and experience in the last 20 years, putting everything I had into the game, and why not translate that and bring that value to people in my new career. So I've really enjoyed that, and yeah, it's been awesome so far.
Was
What I
there
love
a
about
coach that really sticks out in your mind that really helped you along the way?
Mike Johnston in Portland, my junior coach. He was incredible. He was like a pro coach for junior players. And honestly, if you look at the rosters that he's had, I was very lucky. Portland was not very good before I got there, uh, and they got a lot of really good draft picks, like back to back to back to back. They got like Ty Ratty, Derek Pouliot, Nick Patan, Ryan Johansson, Nino Niederreiter, Oliver Bjorkstrand, Sven Berchi, like a lot of really, really good players. And so they got to put together a very good roster for us. And then they complemented that with how good they were of coaches with Mike and the systems he ran and the coaches he brought in, like Travis Green and Kyle Gustafson. They treated us like pros and they pushed us to play like pros and they encouraged us to make plays and manage the puck and hold on to the puck and be creative. But they also were hard on us making smart plays around the blue lines and competing and playing for each other. And just like we went to the finals every year I was there. And I think that's a result of the foundation that they laid there. So Mike was incredible for all of us and all of our development. There's almost all of us in that core group that I just mentioned there. Everyone played NHL games. So very thankful for him and the staff in Portland.
Same kind of question, but was there a veteran or somebody that really kind of took you under their wing, and maybe somebody you're still connected to now from the the hockey journey?
Yeah, one of the guys that I really looked up to, he was the captain in Lehigh in junior or pro or either.
Just along the way, yeah, somebody that you really made that connection with that really
Yeah,
was
it was Colin McDonald. He was the captain in Lehigh when I was there. See, he's 10 years older than me. He was the captain. And yeah, he was just like, he was a great leader and a great role model. He was the kind of guy that when you'd get to the rink 20 minutes early, he'd be done his workout already at the rink. So he was just like, when you're 22 and you see that from a 32-year-old captain, it's like, all right, like this guy means business and he's not cutting any corners. So I always looked up to him, and he was an easy person to be able to, ask questions to and just follow. And he actually just joined my company, the Hockey Formula. So we just started a couple weeks ago. So he's joining me, coaching on the ice and off the ice too.
nice, nice.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. He lives just south of Boston too. So
Oh, all right.
It worked out quite well. But he's an unreal guy. He's got so much to give to the game. He played 13 years pro. He played for the Flyers, Islanders, Oilers, Penguins. Just salt of the earth guy. So he's one of the guys that stuck out to me.
Ryan, do you have another question?
Had you, I mean, you've only been retired for a year or so, but
Mhm.
did you find it difficult to transition into the real world, or were you looking forward to it?
Um, yes and no. The most difficult part I found is you don't like have an excuse to go hang out with your buddies every day anymore.
All right.
Like you don't just get up and you go to the rink. Like you don't go to the rink anymore and just like, okay, you show up, you get your gitch on and go grab a coffee and like sit in the room until the meeting or your workout starts. Like there's none of that anymore. So I really, really miss that. And I also miss the competitiveness of it. Like I really liked training to like we had a really good group in Saskatoon. We had like a pro group of like 10 to 12 guys and then like, 15 guys on the ice that we trained with every day. And then the competitiveness during the season, like I really missed that. I loved it. But then on the contrary, the things that I don't miss is moving, being on 1 year contracts every year and moving from, place to place, especially when you get a wife and, family gets involved. Like, oh, after a while, it's tiring moving that much. But that would be like the only thing like that I don't miss about it. But I'm very satisfied with my career. My body is pretty beat up, and in my mind, it didn't really make sense to keep pushing. So yeah, I'm very satisfied with it. I had a great time. But those are the things that stick out to me.
Yeah, yeah. That's sometimes it's
You-
not always easy. I
yeah,
remember I had a taste of it during the 04-05 season. I was with the Penguins, but
yeah,
I was during the lockout year.
yeah,
So once they locked it out, I was kind of excited that we're delaying the season a little bit. My
yeah,
wife was pregnant, and so we were just about to have a baby in January of that year. So I was kind of looking forward to kind of easing into being a dad or whatever. And
yeah.
then they canceled the season in January, and I'm like, oh my God, what are we gonna do now? And
I
then it
know.
really made me pause and think about, life after hockey and what the heck I'm gonna
Yeah,
do. So
yeah.
yeah.
Last summer, I guess more towards your question about like what you're doing after. Last summer, I was trying to figure that out, and I actually had like some pictures done to like join like a real estate firm. Like I have like pictures in a suit like to join like a company, and then I was just like, no, like I can't. I'm not. That's when I goes back to my self dialogue when I was like, I have too much knowledge and experience. Like I gotta stay in hockey. And I wanted to not move again, so I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how I want to stay in hockey but not move. And then I'm like, I'm just going to start my own training company. And then once I started, it's honestly kept me so busy. It could be a blessing in disguise because I haven't really had time to miss the game because I've just been like constantly building and constantly um, trying to provide value to people and just grow the company. And yeah,
Yeah.
so
Well, that's funny. I did the same thing. My biggest factor was I want to be rooted somewhere when I retire because my whole life
yeah,
was always, you never just knew we were going to be from year to year.
yeah,
Started 10 years of age. And then I come home to Canada and my wife and I got a real estate license. And 6 months later, we are selling real estate. But just prior to that, I got interviewed to be a coach at the Guelph Storm junior A, but they
oh
wanted me to
yeah,
live there. Yeah. And I live an hour from Guelph, and I was like, ah, man,
I know, hey,
I couldn't live there. And my
I
wife was from
know,
my hometown. So I'm like, okay, let's go back home. We both agreed that we want to go back to Canada. And we grew our family here for the last 20 years. I've been rooted.
yeah,
So now that my kids are 20 and 21 and leaving the nest, I'm getting this urge to kind of get out there again.
yeah, I know.
Years.
It's hard though when you play and you're moving and it's
Oh yeah, that's one of the
like you're
worst.
you're not always on edge, but there's always like there's never really true security unless you're one of those big dogs in the NHL that you see signed 4 to 8 year tickets.
That's right.
Like everyone else, it's like even if you're relatively solidified, there's always a chance you're gonna get dealt or you're on a 1 year and then you're on a 1 year and then you're on a 1 year and then you're on a two-way and then like there's just like a lot of factors
Got
that come into play being an in-between guy between the NHL or even a minor league player or whatever the case may be. So when you're done, it's like, oh man, I gotta settle down. It's felt amazing not to not to move the last year
yeah,
and a half or whatever it's been.
yeah,
So
yeah. It felt really good not being told where to be, what time to be there at, what to wear, and how to
yeah,
speak and all that. But
yeah. The
looking back,
structure is different.
I love the structure too. And don't get me wrong, I think it's great and it's really well needed for especially for young kids. And that's why I
Oh
love
yeah,
sports. Any
yeah,
team sports going to teach accountability, structure, and
for sure.
discipline, and being a good teammate. The importance of being a good teammate, and
Yeah,
uh, and then you transfer those skills into the life after hockey. And yeah,
yeah.
work hard and have fun.
The skills you gather in pro hockey too are so transferable to real life. Like pro hockey, it's either kind of you do it or you don't. And at the end of the day, the things you do behind closed doors when people aren't watching, they show up in your performance and being a good teammate And it's the same. I found the same things happen now that I've transitioned into this world and business, I guess. Like I just try it and do the best I can to not take shortcuts and just chip away daily and set really good habits in place and then kind of compound them day after day. So I think what we've learned as players is great for after hockey too.
100%.
Yeah. Mhm.
Taylor, favorite moment playing in your career? Your favorite hockey moment?
Oh man, favorite hockey moment. Yeah. Well, first NHL game was insane. Like almost blackout. How like surreal it was. My parents had a watch party at home. They couldn't, it was so short term. The story I told you about getting called up Friday night and playing Saturday in Carolina. Um, that was insane. Playing for Team Canada at World Juniors was incredible too. I was not expecting, truthfully, to make that team. I didn't get invited to summer camp that year. And then I had a really good start with Portland that winter. Got invited to Toronto and then ended up making it. That was very cool. And then winning the WHL in Portland was my other one. I don't, those are my top three for sure. I mean, first NHL game was pretty crazy. So,
I know you've mentioned a lot of tough guys, and Ryan
yeah.
can attest to this because I asked him when he played. But who do you feel was the toughest guy you were ever on the ice with?
Oh. Um, honestly, I played against Brian McGrattan in the American League, and I could not believe the size of that guy. He was huge, huge. He's one that immediately stuck out. Then there's this guy, I think his name was Yablonski for Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins.
Pat
Uh,
Jablonski was it?
I don't remember. I remember him being bald and like we were Lehigh Phantoms and we were like we played Wilkes-Barre. I think it was like 8 or 12 times a year. You'd split like 6 and 6 or 4 and 4 or 5 and 5, whatever it was. 5 on the road, 5 at home in a year. And we'd go into Wilkes-Barre and there'd be like 4 fights and this guy would just be like firing up the crowd, helmet off, like oh, there's some tough guys in the American League for sure.
Was
Hmm.
Was there
Yep.
ever an opponent that you had that you really liked playing against that you felt like you matched up really well against that people wouldn't really?
Uh, no, not really off the top of my head. Like had my way with, you mean? Like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, not really. No. I wouldn't say there was one guy in particular. Probably not. No, no.
Ryan, do you have a question for Taylor?
What about you, Ryan? Who are your tough guys?
Ooh,
Oh, well, I pretty much fought every tough guy in the American Hockey League when I was down there, and I
Yeah.
fought everybody in the International Hockey League when I was down there, and then in the NHL, I pretty much did the same thing. And there's the guys in the American Hockey League, a lot of them were just as tough or sometimes tougher than the guys in the NHL.
Yeah.
It's just maybe they lack something in their game, but some
Yeah.
of these guys were just massive. But probably my toughest combatants were, well, I've been over 300 fights, bare knuckle fights on the ice, and I've only had my nose broken 3 times, but they're from Belak, got my nose good, and Stu Grimson and George LaRock. Those are three boys that
Yeah. Those
made
are,
my nose look so
yeah.
pretty.
300, hey? Holy
Yeah.
moly.
the best part about the Blackhawks team that Ryan was on is Bob Probert was also on that team too. So that quite
Oh,
the
wow.
one-two punch, no pun intended, Ryan.
Proby was my roommate Taylor for about 4 years, 4 of the 7 years I was in Chicago.
No
And
way.
what a teddy bear he was.
I read
Just
his book. It was incredible.
yeah, yeah. No, he was a good guy. He was a good dad. Yeah, it's too bad. Rest in peace, Proby.
Totally, man. Rest in peace for sure. Yeah,
Taylor,
another guy that came to my mind was Ryan Reeves too.
oh, Ryan Graves. Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, just yeah, heavyweight.
Uh, Funniest locker room story that you can share with us.
Locker room story.
Doesn't have to be the locker room, maybe the road.
Off the top of my head, oh, I don't even know. We might have to circle back on that one. So I might have to think.
Did
Let
you?
me think. Let me sit on that, and I'll think of one.
All right.
There's just so many like little things. Like there's
I
so many
know.
things in their room. Like I remember one time that so we were in Chicago. We were having a horrible season. Our coach got fired, so our general manager Bob Pulford turned out to be our coach for a little bit. And so he was showering like kind of late with us, whatever. And he got out of the shower, and somebody must have put baby powder in the blow dryer. So he liked to blow dry his hair after, and he turned the blow dryer on right in his face, and big puff of baby powder right in his face. And I happened
Yeah.
to be standing right there when I saw it, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And I just kind of walked out like I didn't see it, but I did see it.
Uh,
Felt so bad
that's
for the
funny.
guy, but
Not
yeah,
not.
We had the trainer in Philly, Derek Settlemeyer.
Yeah.
His nickname was Nasty.
Yep.
He would hide this pet snake in a little cooler when you'd walk, or like in his trunk. Trainers have the trunk or whatever. You'd walk into it would be like the morning time or whatever. And he's posted videos of it too that are pretty funny, scaring guys. But he would have like a fake snake or something pop. Like a guy would open up, he'd be like, "Here, look at this. I got a whatever for you." And you'd open up the thing and a fake snake would pop up right early in the morning. He got some funny videos of that he's posted on his Instagram that are
Yeah,
pretty
he
funny.
seems like a really good dude.
Yeah, he was awesome. He was an awesome guy. Yeah,
So
man, Philly had great staff, man. They were really good.
speaking
Yeah,
of
Jim McCrossan was their trainer. Like he was there forever. He was so good to the players. Like can't say enough good words about him. I remember just got drafted by them, and we went to development camp in July. Like all the teams usually do like a week-long development camp right after. It's usually like for the first like 18 year olds to like 21. Most teams are, and prospects. Even a couple first year pro guys will go back. And so we went to they would do they would do this trip to Jersey Shore, and we do like a beach run and beach workouts. We did it with the Navy SEALs one year. And my core was really bugging me, and I was like, "Oh man, like something's not right." I was getting shooting pain up in my oblique area, and I didn't know what was wrong. And I went back home, and it was still bothering me. And so I went back to Philly in like August because I couldn't train. And they MRI'd and whatever. I had my core was like shredded. And so I needed surgery on my core muscles, like right where they attach to your pubic bone. And so I saw this doctor in Philly who was also awesome, Dr. Myers. He's like a core and hip specialist growing. And so I got surgery there, and he wasn't in town, so we had to fly to Duke where he was on vacation. And I got the surgery there, and then Jimmy let me stay at his house. He drove me to his house. He let me stay at his house with him for like 2 or 3 days, and then took me to the airport. And then I was able to fly home. But like he took care of me as like a brand new player in their system, and just like I don't know, special stuff like that, like looking back is like pretty cool. So that's a good story that just popped into my mind when talking about that.
yeah, it's great when we've done these podcasts. It seems to like kind of rejuvenate some of the stories that maybe have been
Yeah,
kind of gone by the wayside. So it's fun for somebody that's just a hockey fan that just
yeah,
loves hearing stories, road stories, stuff that the
yeah,
average fan doesn't really get to see. So
yeah,
that's the best part about the whole thing.
yeah.
Favorite city to
City to play in?
yeah.
Ooh, like the rink or the city?
Well, I was going to ask you
Also,
favorite rink.
favorite rink? Someone asked me this today, actually. One of my players asked me this today. We were doing video, going through a video session, and we were in the off season. What I've been doing with them is if we run a game film from them to watch from last season, we'll pick a player in NHL they want to replicate their game or they admire, and we'll review their film. So we were watching one of the NHL guys today, and he's like, "What was your favorite rink to play in?" And I said, "I played in the home opener in LA in the Staples Center. That was like insane. It was so cool. Madison Square Garden, Toronto on a Saturday night. I got to play in on Hockey Night in Canada, which was pretty sweet. I got scratched in Montreal. I was in the Bell Center. And then Chicago United Center was like electric. It was so cool. And then a sneaky one was two sneaky ones is Nashville home opener. It was like completely like yellow out, like the whole building was just like ripping. And Dallas is sneaky loud too, like so loud. So those are the top ones in my mind for sure.
How about the
Columbus
biggest
too.
chirper you ever played against?
What was that, Ryan? Sorry, what's
Go
that?
ahead, Ryan.
Columbus was a sleeper, I thought too, back in my
Yeah.
day. I really
The
liked playing
cannon
Columbus.
would go off and scare the shit out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead,
Oh,
No,
Eddie.
you're good.
yeah, I was just asking about biggest chirpers. That seems to be a lost art form.
Okay, Ryan or me? Or
Oh,
both?
for you, Taylor.
Ryan, you can go. Oh, for me. Chirpers. Scott Lawton was a pretty good chirper. He was so funny. Very good chirper. Who else was really good too? Nick Cousins. He's still on Ottawa. He's a good chirper too. Yeah.
Ryan,
Those
Yeah.
you
two
want to
guys
add?
I played with. Two guys I played with for like
Yeah.
multiple years. So, I heard them chirp. They were both super funny.
We had a lot of chirpers. Steve Sullivan was one of them. Matthew Barnaby was a big one. Sean Avery, he was a big chirper. Darcy Tucker,
Mm,
big chirper.
yeah.
But yeah,
It's funny
Yeah.
how all those guys make their way to podcasts after that, huh?
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan Whitney, another chirper. I played with him his rookie year in
You
Wilkes-Barre and
did?
also in Pittsburgh. And I I listened to him on his podcast and I'm like, I feel like I'm in a dress room. He sounds the same. He's just always chirping.
Yeah, I know, I
I
listened to
love
them
it.
too. He's so funny.
He's great.
Yeah. I missed the Andal too, but I heard he's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have like a pregame meal or a pregame ritual?
Uh, Nothing earth shattering. I kept it relatively clean. I don't know. I wouldn't do pasta. I felt heavy with pasta. I would do rice, chicken, veggies, maybe a salad. Nothing really earth shattering, honestly. No.
Ryan, do you have like
Ryan,
I
what
was
about you?
I was
What was your
chicken parm all the way.
chicken
Love my
parm?
chicken parm. Yep.
Yeah. When I when you first got to the NHL, were you mind blown with the pregame meals on the road?
Oh my God. Yeah. I was with the Rangers
Like
and I
talk
was like,
about like
what the
National
hell?
League.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then just flying around on that plane, like the Rangers shared a plane with the Knicks. So, I mean,
yeah.
these big ass chairs because, they're sharing it with these big 6'8", 9" basketball players. So everything was massive inside this plane. And then the food, just the shrimp, just everything. I just couldn't believe it. I was in awe coming from Binghamton, New York, but prior to that, I was in St. John's, Newfoundland, and riding all these puddle jumpers all around the Maritimes, and then boom, put me in New York City, and that was quite the culture shock.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the pregame meals were just like it's nuts, man. Like chicken, salmon, steak, pasta, rice, potatoes, salad bar, any drink, just crazy. Same with the planes too. All the snacks and meals and yeah, you get on the plane and there's a menu. That's NHL.
But every
Taylor?
organization is a
Okay.
little different, though, eh? Like I thought,
Yeah,
I was spoiled with the Rangers, and Toronto's a really good, they're all great organizations, but I mean, some are just a little bit more, what's a prudent, I guess, or frugal
yeah,
with their expenses. So Chicago, like, they did not have their own plane. We flew commercial with the general public, and then we had the park out where like where the public was too. So if you're gone for 5, 10, 6 days, that adds up, right?
yeah,
And because you're not flying your own plane, commercial planes wouldn't fly out past 11 o'clock. So when we go into a city, we would stay overnight. So after the game, it just created for a lot more hangovers the following day because the game is done, say, in
yeah,
Detroit or LA. And then after the game, well, of course, you go out for a bite to eat. And then when you go for a bite to eat, you have a couple pops. And then,
yeah,
you got the day off the next day and you're only traveling, then, all you got to do is you have a plane to catch and that's it. But yeah.
for
So
sure.
different.
Yeah, you would know better than me. I only played in the NHL for one team, so we shared the plane with the Sixers.
Oh
So
yeah.
with
Yeah.
Delta, then we
Okay.
had the same thing. Like there were big recliners, and we had no junk food the year I was there. We had no junk food though. Hextall he was pretty healthy with the snacks and stuff, so it was all like healthy alternative snacks and
Well,
yeah,
that's not a bad thing, eh? Like I wish
yeah,
we had that education when I was playing, but because when we were full of sugar all the time, and nutrition is that's probably the biggest thing that's changed when I left the game. Your generation, you guys were way more conscious about what you're putting into your body.
yeah. I feel like that's another thing that changed from the beginning of my career to the end too. I saw a big difference in like guys buying into that, and just like more guys being like attentive with the nutrition and
Yeah.
just being more mindful of it. The sports science guys we had too in Philly were so good. They were like, they had us taking all the supplements, wearing the Normatecs, like the leg compression boots. They gave us every amenity with the hot tubs and the cold tubs and, all the ice. And we'd wear compression pants in the plane so like lactic acid wouldn't like build up in your legs, like all the little stuff like
Oh,
that. Yeah. Yeah, it was yeah, they were very helpful. Knew what they were doing, that's for sure.
yeah. Yeah, that's important. I'm way more healthy now than I ever was when I was playing a professional game.
Yeah.
I feel like I
Yeah.
have to because, you
Yeah.
keep food as medicine, medicine as food.
I agree. I agree. I feel like when you're playing too, like it is a balance though of like not going overboard with that stuff and letting it affect like getting your head about like if I don't do this, like I'm not gonna play good type of thing,
Right.
Like it has I feel like there's got to be a balance of like, all right, I'm doing a lot of good things, like I'm gonna play good rather than like, oh, if I'm not doing this, like what if I don't have a cold tub today or I didn't cold tub yesterday, my legs are gonna be bad tomorrow or like
Yeah.
yeah, as long as you don't get in a blender with that, I think you're good.
Right.
So
Uh, It's all at that level, everything's in your head, right? Everyone can skate
yeah.
shoot it fast, and now it's what's between the ears is what really matters.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Taylor, did you hold on to any memorabilia from when you played?
Yeah, I got quite a bit. I have a whole bunch of stuff still in Saskatoon from when I lived there. My parents are holding on to a few things because I sold my house there, so I had like some special jerseys that I had framed. They're still there in like the glass cases and stuff and like childhood memorabilia. I have my WHL ring right here, which is pretty cool. This is when we won with Portland. I don't know if you can see it,
Oh
but
yeah,
Nice.
nice.
yeah,
Oh,
super
beauty.
cool. Pardon?
Beauty logo too, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Black.
good, man.
Oh,
Our jerseys too, or like, the
yeah.
Chicago jerseys were just awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have I saved like when you make the team and you get like your NHL card, like I
Yeah,
saved
yeah.
mine. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty special. I'll try and hold on to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like little stuff like that. It's just like cool to um hold on to and like look back on.
I'll
Hopefully I'll
sell you
show
a
my
rookie
show
card
my
if you
kid.
need one.
What?
I'll sell you a rookie card if you need one.
I got a couple over there
All right,
stashed
all
up.
right. Just
Yeah,
checking,
thank you
just
though.
checking.
Thank you though. No, you keep that one. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, hopefully
Ryan,
show my kids that stuff and
yeah, I'll save it for my kids. They enjoy that stuff.
yeah. I'm sure you got quite the stash over there. Look at the
It's
just looking
it's
behind you.
being it. I think the same age as Ryan. We were born in
Yeah.
73, so we're like-minded individuals. But this is a lifetime of just collecting crap. It's all in one room, that away from all the other stuff. So it's kind of the man cave to do this stuff.
Yeah.
Just the way the wife likes it, eh?
It, you know it. You know how it works. That's just how it is. Just put
I
everything
think
in one room and close the door and go talk to people and do your thing. And that's what we do.
yeah. Yeah, I got a barn. I think I might starting to insulate and put new walls up there and get everything kind of converted over there a little bit. It's just
Mhm.
it's just a little easier sometimes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Um, Ryan, one last question for Taylor before we wrap everything up.
Yeah. Oh, uh, geez, Taylor. Well, I don't know if it's really a question, but I just got to know you here, and you had a great career, and I was wondering, when you left, like in my head, I remember thinking, I was told way back in the day to play as long as you can because you'll never, get a chance again. So, well, you don't stop playing until they tell you you can't play anymore, and I did that pretty much. And then I said at the end of my career, I feel like I want to go over to Europe and just kind of explore a little bit. And that's what I did. I went to Finland and then I went to Albuquerque, New Mexico and kind of eased my way out of the game. And I kind of saw that you did the same thing. So when I went over to Europe, I just was dumbfounded of how many great hockey players there were. And I was just kind of wondered how like the biggest transition you felt like with regards to playing North American style hockey to going over to Europe, and how'd that treat you?
That's a great question. Um, I'm so thankful for the experience I had over there because um, it just gives you so much perspective on like our lives here in North America and the hockey there, man, it's so much better than you think. Like this, I played 1 year in the Swedish league, like the SHL, and then 4 years in the Dell. And it's like really good. The Swedish league is like it's very, very good hockey. Same with the Dell. But I went over there during the COVID year. They the American League like they weren't paying guys as they would normally during that COVID year. And so I got caught being a free agent that summer and things didn't work out and I ended up going over and playing on the big ice over there is a big difference too. Like I
It didn't do
remember
my game very well.
my first few games, like I was worried about getting fired and then I figured it out. I think I had like 3 points the first 12 games in Germany with Straubing and then I ended up figuring it out and figuring out the game and when to hold on the puck and like when to weak side rim it when you have pressure because there's nobody on the other side of the ice.
Yeah.
But like little tweaks like that. But just like life over there is so much different than over here. And so
Hmm.
just that part of it was really cool too. And just getting to experience the culture over there. Germany was like almost like a little bit of an American League team because you're allowed 11 imports on a team there. So
Oh, nice. Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of Canadian and American guys over there. So yeah, it was just great experience. Very simple living over there.
Mhm.
The hockey is awesome. A cool experience I got to have there was my last year. Uh, we with Straubing we played in the Spangler Cup in at Christmas time in Davos in Switzerland, and we lost in the final. And that was incredible. Really, really cool experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Davos, that hockey powerhouse. That rink is unbelievable.
Electric. It was awesome. Such a cool tournament. We played 5 games in 5 days.
Oh, damn.
I think it's the record because I think we were 1-2 or something along the line. No, we were 1-1 and then we had to play like a quarterfinal and we beat the Czech team. I forget it wasn't Sparta. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, we beat a Czech team in the quarters. Then we played Canada in the semis. We beat Canada in the semis. And then we ended up losing to Freeburg in the finals in the fifth game
Oh,
in 5 days, and we just ran out
oh,
of juice.
yeah.
It was great though. Such a cool experience. And it was like on TSN and stuff, so everyone back home was watching and because now once you go over there, it's a little bit harder for people to watch. So everyone got to watch me, and I'm sure all the other guys, their families got to watch them play because it was on national TV in Canada. So it was
Nice.
great. Yeah, it's great.
So, Taylor, always the same closing question that everybody
Yeah.
that's been on, I ask this. If you had to describe your career in one word, what would it be?
Competitive.
Nice. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. It's good, good way to end a show.
Yeah.
Um, so from an old friend of the show, co-host for the night, came in late, my pal Ryan Vanderbush, to hopefully new friend of the show, Taylor Leier. I really appreciate you coming on. Now, Taylor, before we go, could you let everybody know how to get a hold of you on social media if they want to check out what you got going on?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. Great to meet you guys. Yeah, on socials, personal handle is just Taylor Leier at Taylor Leier on Instagram, and then my business is at the Hockey Formula. Pretty simple. It's also in my personal bio. So
Mm.
that's like the mainstream ones I use is Instagram, and you can find a couple other ones off my link tree and stuff.
Well, we'll definitely we'll be tagging it with the episode and the clips, and we'll post it wherever we can, and we'll tag you, and hopefully we've made a connection, and not the last time on the show, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, guys, and thank you very much.
Nice to meet you, Taylor, and nice
Yeah.
seeing you again, Andy. Take
Thanks,
care, buddy.
Ryan. I appreciate
See you,
you
fellas.
coming in and helping out.
Uh, See you next time.
Till we meet again.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.